Hey, so in the last video, I was speaking about how you can start a conversation with your prospects on LinkedIn. So I've just put together this simple guide just to go through the workflow, just to make things a little bit easier for you to visualize how everything works. And at the end of the series of videos, I'll go through this whole workflow together so you can see how everything works step by step. But for now, I just wanted to recap on what I mentioned on the last video and also show you how you can continue the conversation with prospects on LinkedIn in order to get them on a sales call. So to basically, to recap, when I was talking about starting a conversation, you don't want to jump straight to the sale. Okay, very, very important. You want to ask a question or give something of value first, like a piece of content, a video guide, an invitation to an event, a webinar, something like that. So I said in the last video I wouldn't give you sort of like a word-for-word template on what to say because I want you to kind of use your own branding and your own voice and come up with your own messages so that everything is unique when you speak to people and also so that everything is more human. But just to give you some ideas, and again, don't use this word for word, but just use it as an idea for what you can say. You could do something like, hi, their name, could I ask you a quick question about your retail business or whatever niche they're in? Or you could say, hi, their name, I'm working on a free guide for blah, blah, blah. Would you like a free copy when it's ready? So this one is good if you haven't yet got the content created. You can actually say, I'm working on a free guide. So you can still start conversations with people even if you don't have any content ready to go yet. You could also say you're hosting an event or a webinar and invite them to that. And you can also say, if you have written a guide, that you have recently written a guide on whatever it is that they do or whatever it is that the guide talks about, would you like a free copy? And basically starting a conversation, providing value first and helping them first and showing personal interest first. And then what I want to talk about in this video is continuing the conversation. So continuing the conversation is really all about taking them from someone that's just started talking to you and started to build up a relationship with you to pre-qualifying them to first of all see, are they the right fit for your accountancy firm? And secondly, to find out if you can really help them and how you can really help them. So no one is really going to do business with you unless you can provide them with enough value for them to actually use you and hire you. So what we want them to do is we want them to understand the value that you can provide and how you can really help them. And you need to understand how you can really help them as well. So that could be in the form of saving them time, saving them money, helping them make more money in their business, or whatever it is that you can really do to help them within your accountancy firm. So one of the ways that you can continue the conversation, so once you give them this free guide or content or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter too much about what they say. If they say, yes, I'd love a copy, or no, thank you, I'm okay, I don't really need a copy, or whatever, that's fine. You can still continue the conversation saying, okay, no worries, and then just say something like, by the way, do you currently do any blah, 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 whatever it is that they might do in their business? So, do you currently use any cloud accounting in your business? Do you currently use software to store your receipts online rather than doing everything manually? There's so many things that you could do to ask them questions about their business, again, to pre-qualify them and for you to find out how you can really help them. And using the phrase, by the way, is a really good way that you can continue the conversation and direct them into a sales call if it's really important, if you can really help them and if they are pre-qualified. So continue the conversation by using phrases like by the way or out of curiosity or things like that, things that are going to give you more information about their business. And a good way to think about continuing the conversation is speaking to people like you would if you were speaking to them at a networking event. So at a networking event, you're not going to go there and start selling to them straight away. You're going to provide value to them first. You're going to talk about them. You're going to see how you can really help them before you even think about selling to them. So it's the same thing online. So just think about that. Just talk to them as you would if you were talking to them face to face in real life. So don't do anything weird and just, try to sell straight away, but, do it naturally in a way that if you can help them and provide them with value, then great. So you want to continue that conversation to the point where there is a need for what you do, for what they do, and that you can actually help them and that they are pre-qualified. And then once you've reached that stage where you're like, okay, yep, I can definitely help them. There's, they've mentioned these problems in their business and they're struggling with this. I can actually help them with that. Then you can go to the close, which is when you get them to schedule a call with you. So in the next video, I'm going to speak a little bit more about the close and how that works. And this is the last phase of the LinkedIn outreach method. and I'll speak about that in the next video.